Yo, yo, what it do? What's good? What's up, family? Check this out, man. Man, I be browsing through, YouTube and stuff like that, man. I be browsing through and man, most of the time all I see, because I be doing my little streaming thing, and I'm like thinking like, how to find my lane, and not to be doing things that, everybody else doing, because what I see, all I see is people. It's people going back and forth on who book is better than who book. And this ain't no disrespect to nobody. Who book is better than in their book, and just a bunch of debating and going back and forth of you know, who God is real, who God is fake, stuff like that. But some of that stuff, I like because it would enlighten, people and make people want to, do research and stuff like that. But for real, man, we life be life, and man. So it's like, shoot, man, all that debating and stuff like that, like, who is that helping? That ain't really helping nobody, like, in day-to-day life, because it's things like this. Like me, I'm 51. I'll be 52 in November. November the 12th. I'm a Scorpio. You dig? Um, but what I had to say, shoot, I come from, what somebody called the hood, but I had good parents. My mama, I came up with my mama, you know, um, my had my granddaddy, my grandma in the same city. I had my Uncle Bugs, I had that man, um, that I could look up to, but at the same time, shoot, man, I was outside, and at the age of like 16, I was up off the porch. And at the age of 18, I started to sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? Shit. My big brother was doing it. He was getting money. So, shit, I follow in big brother footsteps. Love my big brother. Rest in peace. I looked up to my brother. So at the age of 18, with me starting to sell drugs, I started to dip in some drugs too, like cocaine. So I was on cocaine. I was sniffing cocaine from the age of 18 on up to my late 40s. You know, um, and I got to be real with myself and got to be real with y'all. It was like I was always dressed good, look good, but I was hooked. I was hooked on cocaine, and I didn't know at the time. When you doing stuff like that, you just partying, messing with women, and just doing things like that. And I didn't look at myself for having a problem. But after a while, I started to see that, man, I got a problem. And I say that because there's a lot of people that's right now that has that same problem. And they go to church. They searching for God. They searching for Jesus. They looking for help. And it helps sometimes, religion does help, but at the same time, you still own it. So what helped me was when I got on my spiritual journey, and when I met my wife. And you know that's what helped me, man. That's what helped me getting on my spiritual journey, and knowing, you know I got out of religion and I got on my spiritual journey, and I started to look inside of myself and face my shadow self. And I started to, you know, really dig deep in the inside and see and sort out the things that hurt me in my youth, you know, and I had a bunch of unforgiveness towards people, towards people that I looked up to, Um, it was a lot going on, man, and I took that pain and I turned towards drugs as my friend, because it would numb your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And And after a while, man, I became hooked on cocaine for real. You know, you'll go 3 days without doing it. You'll go a whole week without doing it, but then the weekend come, you right back on it. Staying up all night, wilding, partying, messing with this one, messing with that one, searching for girls who get high too, so y'all can just be doing whatever, you know. But this the things that I'm gonna talk about. This the things I'm gonna talk about, because there's a lot of people that's looking for that, a way to get away from that. And the first thing you have to do is be real with yourself. And they need to hear somebody tell their story. Because now, I don't do no drugs. I don't do nothing. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? I just be chilling. You feel me? All I do is I just be chilling. I read my books. And I've been vegan for like four years now. I love myself. I don't indulge in nothing I should not indulge in. And the first thing I did, and the best thing, was I got away from my hometown. And you know, me and my wife, you know, we started on our spiritual path. Now, has my life been perfect? Since I got on my spiritual path, no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't been perfect, because we all still got things that we need to, you know, look into and resolve within ourselves, you know. But far as drugs and stuff like that, that shit been out the window, man, you know. So there's so many people in my community that I know that still have problems, and they need to, you know, get help. Talk to somebody, you know. And I think that's what a lot of us should focus on. Like, you know, just helping people out, man, and let them know your story, and let them know how you overcame abuse or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm gonna do, you know. So I hope people tune in, because I'm gonna share my life. Peace.